So I knew that there was things that I could take naturally to at least help me get back to a good place where I wasn't necessarily at risk anymore. And it was all trial and error, essentially. Like, I didn't know for sure that would happen. I'm not a cardiologist. So I stopped taking my meds and I went for some checkups, and they're like, yep, you're getting better. I'm like, okay, maybe we're onto something here. A month later, I go for another checkup. Yep, you're still improving. Okay, they'd end up bumping my appointments to every 3 months because there's improvements. So then every 3 months I go. And it was just appointment after appointment. They're telling me you're getting better, until I got to a point where it was like, hey, you basically, yeah, you have scarring on your heart. But realistically, it doesn't look too far off from normal heart function. So at that time, I brought a bunch of my natural health supplements into my cardiologist, and I said, just so you know, I haven't taken any of those medications that you guys told me I'd be on for the rest of my life in over 9 months. This is what I've been taking. And they didn't really understand what they were looking at. They knew prescriptions, which, again, that's their job.
Yes.
They're not trained or educated in natural supplementation and so forth. But for me, it showed me that there was a different path. And that's something that I reflect on to my athletes now as a bodybuilder, a bodybuilding coach, is that, okay, we can basically minimize risk and still maximize outcomes just by being smart and thinking outside the box with the way we do things. So yeah, since then I've started, like we talked about, I'm a online coach. I only coach competitors now. I don't coach individual lifestyle people, but I run a team. I have 2 other coaches who are actually my partners in the gym here at the Den Fitness that work with me. They both coach lifestyle and competitors. I've kind of been fortunate enough to mentor them through their journeys a little bit. Ty, one of my coaches here, he basically was a bodybuilder with me, and he was one of my athletes, and just one of those guys who we've talked about these types. He's a hustler. He paid his way through university flipping Jordans, and
business.
He understands things like that, and he knows hard work. And when I seen him just doing everything that I wanted him to do all the time, execution, and progressing at a faster rate than a lot of people on my roster, I was like, this kid's got it. He gets it. And he wanted to be a coach, and he was already coaching a few people, and then we decided to bring him on as a coach, and it was just all uphill from there. Ty's 25 years old now, owns a gym with me, right? So it's like that mindset that he has, it's rare, but when someone has it, they're leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. So Dill's the same way. He's a very, very hard working dude. A little bit different. He hired me as well, and then within a very short period of time after that, we brought him on as a coach. He was already an established coach, but he wanted a team like ours to be a part of. So we brought him on, and then things just kind of snowballed from there. I ended up opening a supplement store with Dylan, Supplement World here in Edmonton. We own the Terwilliger one, and then we're actually just signed our second location. We're going to open one up in St. Albert.
Nice.
And outside of that, we own the gym here, and I've also taken over the rights for a Canadian company called Flavor Gang Canada, where we manufacture hot rice cereal and low-calorie sauces for people who are trying to bodybuild or just have lower calorie sauces that aren't super high in fat, sugars, carbs, stuff like that. So
if we had anyone with an intro that could talk that much at only 31 years old, like, we love the young entrepreneur life and the fact that this is also in the physical fitness side, but the elite level of the physical fitness side. This is the kind of thing that we really get into. I love this. Like, you guys know that I did my previous 2 series. You know, the first one was introducing people into the lifestyle. If someone walked onto your gym floor, like, don't get me wrong, everybody in there is super nice. They're willing to help. They just look intimidating.
Yeah,
a lot of people,
sure,
if they walked in there as their first gym, I'm not at the right place. I got to go to some frou-frou place and just look pretty in my outfit. So I did the first 2 series on basically get your ass in the gym.
Yeah.
The first step is getting your ass in the gym. Second one was more novice. Like, okay, now we got a point. We know that we know how to work out. We can do it safely. We know how to warm up, all that. Let's take it into building a goal. You can do that at a typical style gym.
Yeah.
Why this one was so important is that I'm starting, this is day 1 of a 30-day, I'm getting back into absolutely serious training. I've fought in the past. I've been in the cage. When I gave that up, I started working out more on the muscular side of things. I'm predisposed. I was never good at cutting, but I can do pretty decent things muscular wise in short periods of time, naturally. We have two different approaches. Neither is right, neither is wrong. For me, when I was fighting, that wasn't an option to go the other way, because I would just get too big, and that's not what I wanted. You have to stay lean, you have to stay fast, or not lean, but light. And only being 5'9" was very difficult. So this, I am looking really forward to doing this 30 days, because I've never really combined the two of taking myself to what I'm hoping will be an elite level. What would you tell people then? Like I said, my journey is a lot longer. I'm really excited to do this. What would you say is the first step if someone thinks they're willing to, or they're ready to? Because like you said, even in your mind, you didn't even know until your coaches along the way were like, no, I can pull more out of you than anyone else did. So what would you say to someone who's like, I'm ready for that step, what's next? They think they've taken themselves as far to the top. Now what?
Be open-minded. I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody tells you you're training like a pussy, and you take that on the chin and you're like, all right, I can find that new gear. Versus you get upset because it's like, no, I train hard. It's like, well, come to a place like this. We'll show you what training hard looks like. And I guarantee you'll walk out of this place.
You hope you walk